What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another Dragon Blaze video. And today, this is not going to be like an investment character today. I've been reading some comments and seeing that people are struggling and trying to get the fourth impact characters and such. So this is going to be kind of talking about that, while I also finish up my dailies because I didn't do this earlier. So I figured this would be a good time to talk about everything. So when it comes to this game, it's changed up a lot. I've been playing it for at least 4 or 5 years or so, maybe a little bit longer, and damage has been changed up, skills have been changed up, heroes are so much stronger, or characters. I like to call them heroes because it just sounds cooler. Characters are used pretty much in just about every game, and heroes aren't, but same thing. The way they act and the way they respond and how you build your characters have also changed as well. So it's difficult to get the fourth impacts, based on how long you've been playing, or how short of a time you've been playing. Because I've had people who've been playing for 2 or 3 years, stopped playing, came back, and everything has changed up and beyond belief. And now I can't get my heroes, I can't do damage and stuff like that. They've changed the game upside its head, indefinitely, and it's hard, definitely, to figure out why you can accomplish some of these goals. And I mean, I used to do buttloads of damage too, but they constantly nerf characters, heroes. They're constantly changing things, making them harder to obtain, some of them easier. They've made them easier now to obtain, and even better for new players, because when they start, apparently you get a ticket that gives all your first impacts, and I'm guessing your second impact heroes to level 100. Well, you got to take it to account. They're not that strong at max level, even second impacts. Now, if we had the older generation second impacts before third impact came out, then yeah, it would have been a lot easier, because when you make a second impact character, you had to have 3 of the specific characters to level 30, and then use 2 more characters and then fight the second impact, which they are incredibly challenging. But when you beat them, I have one that I've made already on video already. It should be in my videos. They're over 1 million power base, and that's without power. Well, I mean, they're over 1 million power base, and they maybe get a little bit stronger based on like how you are and like your runes and your armors and stuff like that. But beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're at 1 million base power. That's without armors, buffs, ruins. Book of Heroes, I don't think wasn't out around that time. I think Book of Heroes was a third impact thing. I'm not too sure. If so, then that's without Book of Heroes. So it's a little bit more challenging at this point, and they're giving you a boost so you can actually get into the game, so you can actually make your third impacts, and then from there you would try to get the fourth impacts, because you're going to need all the third impacts that you can get. And what makes it so difficult is because of the power and how strong they are. Now, people want to give recommendations and teams and stuff like that, which I really can't. But I will help you the best way I can in this video. I have tasks that I still have to finish. That's why I'm doing this while I'm talking. But when it comes to the new heroes or characters, however you want to pronounce it, you have to realize that the priest isn't too terribly challenging for me. He didn't do too much, but it could be a whole different pattern for you. What makes it harder is because you have to have specific characters, just how you make every other hero in this game. For these characters, you got to have 3 priests, which is 3 healers, and then for the other one, you need 3 enchanters, and they usually don't do damage immediately. If they are extremely powerful, if you invest a lot of your time and character cards in them, and then even so, they still don't do damage extremely fast, because the amount of time I fought the new hero, the new enchanter, she literally took out my team within seconds, I want to believe. I mean, she literally KO'd my whole team, and then I used my healer, which I will show in this video of like how I overcome that fight. Was because of the healers. It's not so much the team you have, it's just how you have it set up. Like I use just three random encanters, just three random ones. There wasn't even, I don't think they was even above 30 when it comes to their default level. And I use Vaughn, which is the, I think her name's Meta Vaughn or Meta something, but Meta Vaughn. She's a healer. And then the main thing she was there for is really is just to revive my team because I didn't know how hard they was or how easy they were going to be. And she KO'd my whole team at once. My healer brought everybody back. And then from there, we took her down. And I used my rogue, which she was the very first one I used in the investment series. And who I'm talking about, since I'm done here, because I can't just remake these. Like, you know, I've already gotten them. So when I was fighting her, you have to use 3 incanters as a requirement. There's really no getting around it because she is an incanter. And same thing for him, he's a priest. You have to use 3 priests. There's no getting around it. So my 3rd impact character was obviously her. She is my highest level out of all my heroes, I believe, for default. So that's why she's at top at number 1. And I've already did an investment video on her. She's absolutely bonkers. And then I used her. Yeah, which is, Reaper Vaughn. So I used her because her ability is whenever she dies, she brings back the whole entire team as long as they died with her. So she revives literally everybody back, which gives you a reset. And then I used my first impacts because I didn't really use any third impact incanters, actually. So we only have 3, and I really didn't even. Wow, he's actually a rogue. He's actually an incanter. I said he was a rogue. I don't know why I did that. Because for some reason I did rogues, and he appeared there. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Did I do him? I don't think I did a video on him just yet. But yeah, I did. When basically I've used them. I used her, and I used her, and then for my first impacts, I just used 3 random incanters, and then got the job done, because I needed that insurance. And if you don't have her, then you can use, where is she? She's basically my favorite character of all time, basically, other than the one that I'm always currently talking about. Hold on, she's a paladin. I can just pull her up. There we are, right here. Camille. So you can use her because whenever she dies as well, and she also gives invincibility, like she can stall for quite a long period of time, so your team can kind of go in and deal damage. She's kind of pretty annoying, but really powerful. And then whenever she dies, she revives everybody, excluding herself. So she also gives you a reset. So when it comes to teams and what you can do, just have good damage. Like, I love the damage that she does. She does great damage. You can use him. He does phenomenal damage. She does great damage as well. I mean, when it comes to your damage dealers, those are the ones I will kind of stick around. She does okay damage. She can really hurt at times. She can do pretty good damage too. So it's not really about like what you recommend. You have to use 3 healers. You have to use 3 incanters. Just use your strongest healers and incanters, and then from there use a good damage dealer, and then use one of those guys, because you're gonna need that. And I even said it in the video that I made. I was like, if I didn't have Meta, if I didn't have her, I probably wouldn't have gotten through that, and I would have been kind of where you guys are, being frustrated and kind of realizing why I'm not getting this. Well, you have to take into account, my characters' default levels are not super high, but they're getting up there. The power levels are getting up there as well. They're also transcendent as well. I'm pushing their powers beyond their limits, and they're not even close to being at a level 100 yet. And actually, they go above a level 100 actually. My runes are maxed out. They're already finished. See, there's a lot of things I put into my characters to make them, strong as possible. Book of Heroes is not even finished yet. So, when you're first starting Dragon Blaze, you're not really going to get these fourth impacts quickly unless you get extremely lucky. I mean, I think one guy mentioned that one person mentioned he got the fourth impacts, I think, or one of the something. He got lucky, but you have to take into account that these characters don't play. They're very hard to obtain, and you just have to find the good set of heroes. And what makes it harder, again, you have to have 3 incanters and 3 healers. Doesn't matter which ones you use. I mean, in a way, it probably could, but they're not really going to be doing damage because your damage character is going to be the most important character to be dealing damage, and you're going to need a 3rd impact for this. The ones I recommended that I showed you are great. Whatever your highest damage dealer is, I would use them because they can probably get the job done for you. But having Camille or Meta is going to give you another chance to reset and try again, because when she killed my team, she didn't do an incredible amount of damage the second go around, which gave me a lot of relief because I didn't know how I was gonna get these guys. So, you got to take into account that you have to be able to know what your characters do and how powerful they are and what damage they can do. Your ruins matter, your armors matter, your equipments matter. Now, armor and equipment are the same thing, but in this game it's different. Your equipment is different than your armors because they're specifically for your impacts. You don't share those with all your other heroes. So those are important. Having your Book of Heroes is important. Like, all that stuff is gonna correlate together for you to get the goal done. I mean, she's also good too in damage as well. I mean, he's actually pretty insane, but she doesn't give you that much time to use his signature skill. So, I mean, he's actually good. He's very good. I like this guy. So, I mean, there's tons of damage dealers that you can use, but you got to figure out which one is going to be best for you to combat to combat this hero. And having Meta or Camille is going to give you even more advantage because they're going to allow you to do basically a reset, and if you don't have them for your reset, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's going to be even more difficult to get through this. So, I mean, those heroes I recommend. When it comes to second impact, I mean, they're just not as powerful as the third impact, because when you break them down, and eventually I probably will break them down, I want to do, all the third impacts, then do other content, then go back to doing second impacts and such, breaking them down and seeing how good they are, because the first and second probably won't take as long as the third. So, you got to realize that it's hard to take these guys down, and it's worth it because of what they do. I mean, I previewed them, I've got them, I've showed them what they can do. Their abilities are crazy because they get to pledge 3 times. They have Star of Knowledge, which gives them even more power, which is insane, on top of regular enchanting them, on top of transcending them as well. So, that's a lot of power right there. That's enhancing, which is one source of power. Transcendent is the second source of power. Pledge is a third source of power. And the Star of Knowledge is a fourth source of power. And we haven't even seen how stronger they get, because I haven't gotten to that point. And I know somebody will. It'll probably be a long time before I get there. But, for them to gain such an incredible amount of power, it's going to be quite silly to see how strong they get. Because there's not really much I can do from that point moving forward for you guys. You have to invest into your heroes, get them strong enough, and find a good pattern. And I know that healer and that paladin, Camille and Vaughn, they will help. They are the only 2 characters in this whole entire game that fully revives your team, excluding herself when it comes to Camille. Now, I know Black Hatra, she will come back as long as one of your heroes are around. Sometimes she come when everybody's gone, but in most cases you still lose the fight. But she wouldn't be really recommended for this one, considering how strong they are. You can use her too. She is definitely not a bad idea to use as well if you have her. But for the most part, that's just kind of what you have to do. You have to get your team up. The heroes I showed you, I think, will be the best. But any third impact you have that deals damage will probably do. You gotta have Vaughn, you gotta have Camille, one of those to help you reset. And then hopefully from there, your character can deal a lot of damage. So that's kind of all I got when it comes to this specific topic. This video may help, it may not. I hope it does. You know, so I can't just remake them. I showed you guys how I made them once the update first came out. I didn't know what to expect. So I used my strongest hero, which is the rogue that I'm fighting right now, to get more of her treasure cards and more hero cards. You know, the best way is just to make sure you level them up and make them stronger. And another good way to get hero cards for specific characters is in the Library of Fate. When they get to level 20, the hero do you want to focus on the most, as long as you can get through all the stages of Library of Fate, then you can also put your character up there and they can get treasure cards. They have a high chance of getting their hero card specifically. I have her at Book of Heroes right now, getting a lot of hero cards for her. So you kind of just have to work on that. Once you work on that, once you get that done, you're all set. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully this helps. Like, comment, subscribe. Not tomorrow, but Thursday I will be continuing the investment series, just trying to crank those out, because that's going to help newer players and returning players too, if they ever come across my videos, because most people don't really break down heroes like that. And I think that's kind of important, so you know what you're building and understanding why you should be building these guys. But yeah, that's it for today's videos, guys, and I hope this video is very helpful for you. And yeah, I'll be making another one. I may make one tomorrow if I have the time. I know Thursday I will be making it for sure. And if anything else I can help with, let me know. But it's very difficult getting these heroes, and I see and I hear everybody's frustration on this. But yeah, it's definitely not the easiest trying to get these guys. It is extremely hard, and I will be opening up packs pretty soon as well, so make sure you stand by for that. Anything else I can help on, guys, please let me know. But until next time, I will see you for the next one.